My daughter, she turned 1 this month of May, and it's just wild to look back and be like, all right, I just balanced a business and motherhood for a whole year. A lot of the stuff I feel drawn to videos about right now is the productivity, essentialism, planning mindset I had to have, just how to get everything done. I definitely have more videos coming out on just how to just show up 100%, both for your business and motherhood. So like I said, my daughter, Lana, she turned 1. We had a theme that was like vintage surf, and it was called the Big One, like a big wave. Yeah, we had a little surf themed birthday party, and I felt like it just went so well too with like us as people. And like one of my friends, she does cakes, and she did the cake for Lana's baby shower. She did the cake for her first birthday now too. I'm gonna be making a whole video on this, but a few key points that I wanted to just mention with balancing a business and motherhood really like for a whole year now is, number one, I felt like I really had to get flexible with my planning and my days. I had to embrace some days where I would have a whole to-do list of things, and then none of that would happen because maybe Lana got sick, or she wasn't going down for any of her naps. Like, as much as you would try to plan what time they would nap and get tired and all this stuff, suddenly there is a growth spurt, and then that changes everything, or then you start to get into a routine again. It's just a roller coaster for sure with babies and sleep, and when you're going to be able to predict when you're going to have your time. You're not going to get as much done in a day or in a week, but you might get it all done if you think in terms of essentialism, like stripping out the stuff that either you personally don't need to do or you can outsource it to someone. And that is pretty much like what I'm going to talk about in the video coming up soon. Subscribe if you want to watch more of that. Shameless plug. Yeah, if you want to do more, if you need to still get a lot done in your business, it's really looking at your overall to-do list, your week, and then just being like, what are the most essential tasks that I do have to get done, and kind of see those as like, if I'm going to get just one thing done, what are those like 5 top tasks that week? And when I say one task or one thing, I mean something that takes you under 30 minutes to do. There's been days where all I've done is admin and I haven't even gotten to touch editing, or all I've been able to do is 30 minutes of editing, which isn't really much. But that's why in the video I'm coming out with, I'm going to talk a lot more about how I do get it all done. Before I let this video become all about that, I also this month started my Etsy shop. I just launched it the other day, and actually like a week ago, but then I didn't want to I didn't have it all put together yet. And so just with the last video I made about my Final Cut Pro library and everything that I use for video editing, I made a template basically for that software. So, and yeah, that's going to just be an ongoing project. Oh, and also for the month of May, I second shot a couple weddings over at Disney. If you've ever watched TV with the Disney fairy tale weddings, they have those weddings aired on TV. So those are a lot of fun. So now I'm going to go ahead and pop into my calendar and the screen record, and I'll show you a little bit about how I'm just wrapping up this week of May, and then I'm going to go into planning for the month of June and for at least the first week of June. Okay, so I'm over here on my screen record, and I'm actually going to be looking over at this monitor. So even though my webcam is over here, you'll just see me looking over here. I have Google Calendar pulled up here, and then I have my Notion pulled up here. So I am looking at 2 areas. This is pretty much my YouTube like creation hub. I actually reconfigured this recently from another YouTuber that had made something similar to this. Like, they put their Y up here. This is at least what I feel called to make content on currently. I just want to look at my action area. This is where I'll brain dump things. So throughout the week, I put a lot of ideas in my like reminders on my phone. This is my home screen right here, and I have my life hub, which is Notion, but right here is my reminders. And so the great thing about that is that Like when my hands have been full as a mom, for example, if I have Lana in my arms or whatever, I could just be like, hey Siri, blah, 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 blah. And so I'll take a lot of those to-dos and then put them into my brain dump here and then sort them. Once it's been captured, then that is just kind of like, it'll sort out down here into the areas. So basically, this right here is just a bird's eye of what I ideally like to do for every week, but I have this also translated over into my Google Calendar, which I'll show you in a second. First, I want to look at this. Yes, I sent the editing notes to my editing assistant, and this right here was the video that I just uploaded. So I can definitely go ahead and check that off. Then I look over here and I'm like, what do I also need to do? Okay, so I definitely want to do that soon. This is definitely going to be within the next week. Now that I'm over into my calendar here, I'll first show you the week. Like I said before, I just wanted to check off what I did need to do this week. So now I want to look at this week. It looks pretty empty, but what I want to show you, oops, how did that scroll in? There we go. What I want to show you is that I have a calendar here that says ideal week time blocks. When I have that toggled on, I want to just see all of the tasks that I would ideally like to do in a week, or like when I think that I would be able to get to do this. I have a calendar here for ideal weekly time blocks. I have one for like me and Chris to look at, client work deadlines, HoneyBook sync. This syncs with my CRM in my booking system. That auto-populates people's wedding days for me. Meetings is in yellow. I didn't have any meetings this week, which is great. I used to have the nap time block here, but that is just something I need to update and get rid of because I now mostly just keep that right into the ideal weekly time blocks. So right now, Lana is napping. She's in a weird phase where she's switching from 2 naps to 1 nap. So today she's probably going to take 1 nap. So that's when I do all of my like deep work like this. So I know that she's going to take 1 nap. The green here is my other job that I'm an employee at. Basically, I like to have these kind of light colored ones as like my ideal time. Okay, so I'm just going to sort through some of my incomplete tasks for the week and then actually assign them to a specific time for the rest of this week so that I can wrap that up for the month of May. So this was something I wanted to do, YouTube videos into blog articles. I'm actually going to push this over to next week. That's the beautiful thing. Okay, so now I'm just looking at my tasks that I need to wrap up for the week. Now I just want to put this in the time periods that I know I'll be able to wrap things up pretty much. So bookkeeping. And so although these are the time blocks, I like to go in and then just put actual tasks that pop up as little check marks. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be working on M&Z as a client. So I'm going to be editing that. And then tomorrow morning and Friday morning, since my YouTube video is already up and now that's off the table, I don't have to worry about that as much. I'll probably still promote it throughout Thursday and Friday though on social media, like on Instagram. So, all right, I feel good about this. Okay, so now looking at the month of June, I'm going to toggle off this ideal weekly time block just because I don't want to look at the ideal yet. I just want to look at actually what I do have coming up. So this month, I know that I want to be involved in this workshop that's going on. These yellow blocks are meetings basically. So I know that I need to be available for those over Zoom or online. This blue is with Bed Gnarly Fam. So this is on the calendar of anything that Chris and I both need to know about. So we're going to be out of town for a family reunion during those dates. I'm going to a bridal shower on this upcoming Sunday. So I want to just go back to this, and I'm just going to put, I know on Fridays, those are my going out life admin day after Lana wakes from her nap. So looking over here again too, due date soon, a gift for Ellie's shower. I'm going to just throw that in there and I'll just put it there for now. I don't see anything else that's essential this week. Okay, now I've looked at all of my personal things and work related things that are coming up. So now I'm going to look over here at my CRM. I know that I've got these client projects, so I've already accounted for these. I do have a due date for this film, which is the 16th, and then I have this is another film that I'm working on currently. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to tell myself I am going out of town this week and I don't want to have to really worry about work-related stuff this week. The red just tells me that it's a deadline. So I want to be able to have their film due that day. And I always like to deliver wedding films on Fridays because I feel like it's kind of like a Friday outing sort of thing. I'm going to add the task that matches it over here, which is ship album and raw footage. So actually I want that task to go this week. I just put all of these general tasks on Sundays so that when I'm looking at the week view, like this, all those tasks that like they stack up on that day, like right here, they're all gonna stack up except for the predetermined ones. And so then that way I just know that they're all stacked up, and then the week prior I can go over and then just sort them throughout the week according to my ideal weekly time block like this. Before I forget, I'm gonna also just insert, I think they had a yacht. This is a client. Okay, so I went ahead and put the 2 deadlines for the 2 client projects I want completed by those Fridays before I leave for vacation. And again, if you want to just give yourself these like overall themes of every day, I like to do this just with like these bars along the top, because that way it gives me an idea of like what to focus on to complete those things. And then yeah, so that's basically how I am just sorting out all of my monthly planning. I like to keep it pretty general right now. And then when I get closer to like that exact week, I'm going to be switching it up and then going into each weekly view like this, and then putting in the actual tasks. And as more tasks come along, thanks, Hanae. I was like, who's creeping? I got the whole pink mode now. Chris came in. So then yeah, basically as each task like pops up, I'll put that over here into my brain dump, and then I'll be able to sift it through just as the week goes on, and then be able to decide like what the due date is and all of that. So yeah, pretty much at the end of like on Fridays, I do like bookkeeping. And then that's when I just go back in and just look at this kind of like side by side like this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this video served you well. Subscribe if you want to also catch up on the one that is all about just balancing business and motherhood and productivity and planning and stuff like that this past year. So thanks for watching, and definitely chat with you guys soon.